Hey guys, Phantom here, and welcome to another reaction video. Now, tonight, we're about to react to Dr. Bob. For people who don't know who Dr. Bob is, basically he's another animator that talks about the SCP Foundation. Not gonna lie, really love his content. I have been watching some of his videos, and one of the videos I want to react to is SCP-420, Aggressive Skin Condition. If this doesn't convince kids not to drink, then I don't know what will. SCP-420 is a of course, I know this video is not going to get monetized if I ever get monetized. Screw it. It's about bars, drinks. Only people, grown folks, can enjoy, as long as they drink responsibly. I do not promote people to drink because they'll make dumb decisions and won't drink responsibly. Better yet, don't drink at all. Stay healthy. It's best for your life and for your mental health. This kind of SCP is far dangerous than any other bars would ever have on stock. As much as I would like to explain how it works, I'd rather let Dr. Bob take it away. Let him explain it and show you why SCP-420 is way worse than any other adult beverages are. I don't even know why I'm trying so hard. So I know this video is not going to get monetized anyway, even if I react to it. Its origin, me personally, I say it's unknown. But, yeah, word of advice, don't drink. But yeah, as they all say, if you're over 18 or 21, you're okay to drink. If you're underage, don't drink. You're just going to ruin your life. Remember Tiny Toons? I sure did. You should have saw the ending. Buster, Plucky, and Hampton showed us why drinking is bad. If you want to see that for yourself, go on ahead. But anyway, let's watch.
It's 1 o'clock in the morning on a work night, and the last of the bar hoppers and club goers have long since turned in. At the end of the street, the last bar is finally closing down for the night. Or it would, except that the bartender is having trouble getting rid of a customer. Sitting at the bar, an old derelict is demanding yet another drink. The bartender grumbles in annoyance. This derelict is sloppy drunk, and the bartender just wants to go home. "Closing time," growls the bartender. "Just one more," protests the derelict, shaking his empty glass for emphasis.
Seriously guys, would you rather look like that?
Words.
I sure wouldn't. Now, this guy is not homeless. He's a derelict. I don't even know what that means, but what I'm guessing, derelicts like to drink that heavy liquor or beer whatsoever. And I repeat, do not drink underage. Drink responsibly when you're older, or you're gonna end up like this guy.
His giggles ending with a loud belch that blows a cloud of aromatic vapor into the bartender's face. That's it. This derelict has been hanging out at this bar causing trouble all night, and the bartender has had enough. "Get out of here," says the bartender as he hustles the wobbling derelict out the door. "You're done." The derelict creaks and totters as he stumbles out into the street. The night's festivities are really hitting him. He's got the money to burn, but when he...
Honestly, I better not get a copyright strike, because I've seen other people react to his content.
He does, he likes to spend it here. The prices are right, and the conversation is minimal, which is just the way that he likes it. The derelict turns around, fire in his eyes. He's raring to fight, and he doesn't care that the bartender is quite a bit larger.
I don't know why, but I keep on forgetting to say every time whoever I react to, I always put their names and the links to their channels in the description. I don't know why, but I keep on forgetting to say that in my videos. If you want to see the people who I react to, make sure you look at the description and if you want to see the video for yourself, then link will be down in the description also.
Larger than he is. Right now, all he can see is red. Don't tell me when I've had enough, he slurs, raising his fists as he prepares to lash out. But the bartender has already slammed the door in his face. Defeated, the derelict turns his back on the closed bar and starts a slow stumble down the street. Stupid bartender, mutters the derelict, turning up his collar against the cold bite of the night air. He wishes that he just had one more drink to warm his stomach against the chill. He's so out of it that he doesn't stop to think that the bartender did him a favor by refusing to fight. There is no way that the derelict would have won that battle. Even if he was in his physical prime, even if the bartender wasn't twice his size, the derelict is in no shape to fight. His vision is blurry and his head is swimming. In fact, he can barely remain upright. If he had any sense, he would probably stumble home and sleep this off. But the night is young, and he's not ready to give up yet. He walks down the street, eyeing every storefront in hopes of finding another bar.
Sorry, I have to pause right there. When people say they got fire in their eyes, they see nothing but red if they're that angry. Dude, literally, I've been in fights and I never got no red in my eyes unless I wasn't angry enough to do so. You're probably thinking, Phantom, you fought back in your days? Of course I did. But if you guys want to hear a story about that, comment that down below if you actually want to hear that story. I might tell it one day.
Unfortunately, every window has a closed sign in it. He swears under his breath. What a run of bad luck. What's a guy supposed to do in this town, he wonders. Just when he's about to give up hope, he spies something glinting in the reflective halo of a street lamp. He stumbles closer to get a better look, and he can hardly believe his eyes. Finally, his luck is changing. Someone has abandoned a half-empty bottle. Well, hello there, little friend, says the derelict. He struggles to focus, but the world is spinning. In his confusion, he could swear he's seeing things. But no, he can feel the heft of the glass bottle in his hand, and he knows that it
You're not serious about drinking that.
Who left you behind? Who would leave a perfectly good bottle just sitting out here? He recognizes this brand. There's only about 3 fingers of liquid left, but that's better than nothing. Some people might balk at drinking out of a random bottle that you found on the street, but the derelict doesn't give it a second thought. He tips the bottle back and slurps it.
Okay, hold up. Usually if you see a random drink on the ground, you don't pick it up. You don't know if anyone got any type of disease. And yet, some people want to take that risk. If that was me, I would have standards. I'm not picking up something that's off the ground, food or drink. I want a nice, hot, clean meal.
It all down. It burns going down, just as it should, he thinks. He sighs in contentment as he feels the harsh liquid warm his stomach. Perfect. That really hit the spot. But what happens next surprises him so much that he can't believe his eyes. There's still liquid in the bottle. He blinks, wondering if maybe his adult brain is playing tricks on him. But he shakes the bottle cautiously and is rewarded with the telltale swish of liquid. That's no illusion. He takes another swig, guzzling it down. Normally, he'd drop the bottle to the ground and stumble on, but something makes him pause. He maintains his grip on the bottleneck and raises it again to take another look. And sure enough, there's still more left in the bottle. The derelict cannot believe his luck. He feels like he must have won the lottery. He's found a never-ending bottle. Already his mind is reeling with possibilities. That bartender really thinks he's so smart, he mutters to himself as he weaves unsteadily. I don't need him anymore. See if I ever go to this stupid bar again. He just lost his best customer. Now that I have you, little bottle, I don't ever need to pay for drinks ever again. It's the best day of my life, crows the derelict, raising his arms in triumph.
I'm pretty sure that the bartender would have been smart enough not to pick up a dirty bottle that is on the ground. That probably got riddled with diseases. And instead, you still decided to drink out of it. Yeah, very big brain, don't you think? So he doesn't get a second thought, so he's losing brain cells. The more you drink, the more brain cells you lose. I mean, take Homer, for instance. Fear kills brain cells.
He's barely able to stagger back to his home, a seedy apartment on the bad side of town, before he passes out on the floor. The morning sun rouses the slumbering derelict, and he rises with a groan. His whole body aches, and his mouth feels dry and parched. That's par for the course after a night of drinking, but somehow this hangover feels different. He puts that thought out of his mind as his mind returns to the strange, never-empty bottle that he discovered the night before. It's lying on its side on the floor next to him. He reaches for the mysterious bottle, only to find that, in fact, the previous night was not a dream. The bottle still contains just as much as it did the night before. He can't explain it, but the derelict isn't about to question his good fortune. He lifts himself to his feet and walks slowly into the bathroom. He's feeling a hangover like he's never felt before. His head is pounding and his throat is dry. His tongue feels swollen and sluggish inside his mouth, but he knows how to handle it. A little hair of the dog is all you need to help with the hangover. He takes another gulp from his bottle, but this time it brings little relief. And he notices something else strange too. It's his scalp. The skin on his head has started to itch, and he can't stop scratching. He feels like he's got the world's worst dandruff problem. He should probably take a shower, he thinks. He strips down and steps into the tub, turning the hot water on full blast and letting it wash over him. The shower only brings him temporary relief. Afterward, as he dries himself off, the towels feel rough and abrasive against his skin. His skin comes off in big, flaky patches, and his nails leave red trails in their wake. What's that? Is that blood? He examines his fingers to see that his nails have grown into ragged, claw-like talons. With a frightened yelp, he bites them off. It's easy to do. Although they look formidable, his fingernails are weak and brittle, almost as if he's dealing with a sudden calcium deficiency.
Honestly, I've seen people do that in cartoons. I have never seen anyone chew their fingernails in real life, and they actually break it. Sure, I've seen actual people had to rip off tape with their bare teeth, but I have never seen anyone bite off their fingernails just in case they get too long. You know, that's disgusting.
What could be wrong with him? He remembers all the warnings he heard back in school when they used to march everyone into assembly to listen to lectures from the local police. At the time, he scoffed at the long lists of scary-sounding consequences of a lifetime of drinking, but now, he's not so sure.
Not very funny now, is it? Just keep on drinking. It definitely doesn't ruin your life and put you in a beaten-down apartment.
It's probably nothing, he says as he examines himself in the bathroom mirror. His skin looks blotchy and infected. It doesn't take long before his hair and nails are out of control. His hair grows down to his shoulders, but comes out in big, ragged clumps if he runs his fingers through it. His claw-like fingernails are constantly breaking and cracking until his fingertips are bloody, and his quick is itchy and infected. If his habits had left him looking worse for wear before, he really looks awful now. For the next week, he barely leaves the apartment. He pulls the curtains and keeps the lights off, afraid that someone might see him.
Dude, if I was him, I would have just gone straight to the hospital. I have an infection like that. My nails grow, my skin breaks, and what else? My hair gets long, I gotta go see a doctor. Like, no matter how bad, like, no matter whatever you gotta get it checked out. Because whatever it is, you don't usually see that in real life. So yeah, my best advice to the guy, go see a doctor. Or die.
When the landlord bangs on the door, shouting that rent is late and demanding that the derelict hand over the money, he doesn't answer. He waits. The landlord gives up for now. That's good, thinks the derelict. It will give him time to think, time to figure out what to do about his disease. He knows that something is not right. Many of the local bartenders are, by now, probably wondering where he's gone. It's not like the derelict to stay away. He's practically kept the bar industry in this town afloat all by himself. It must be something major indeed to keep him away from his favorite poison. Luckily, he still has the bottomless bottle to comfort him during this trying time. The derelict is certain that he's caught some bad bug, but he thinks that he can wait it out. All he needs to do is make it through the next week, and everything will be fine. Sipping free drinks helps him to pass the time in a pleasant stupor as he waits for his health to return. Unfortunately, things are only going to get worse for him.
Yeah, just keep on drinking that.
Keep growing to the
Just
point
keep on
that
drinking the bottle. It'll
without his
definitely
twisted
fix
fingers
everything.
getting in the way. His dry, flaky skin is changing as well, becoming thick and leathery and hanging off him in great folds like the hide of an elephant or a rhinoceros. His skin continues to grow until the folds flop over his knees and gradually hang lower and lower until they touch the ground. Moving is harder now that he's carrying so much extra weight. He thought at first he just had a nasty bug, but he's clearly picked up some weird skin condition, and even this derelict, sodded as he might be, suspects exactly where he got it. got to be that crazy bottomless bottle. He can't think of another reason. Even so, he can't bring himself to part with this little gift from heaven. Even in his darkest hour, a few sips of liquid courage always helps to calm his nerves. He considers lumbering down to the free clinic in hopes that they might be able to cure him or at least tell him what's wrong with his skin.
So, you'd rather just keep on drinking a bottle that got you infected in the first place? If I was you, I would have destroyed that bottle. If they were blemishes, what happens if you break the bottle? There's no way it can repair itself. Replenish, yes. Repair, I don't know. I'd rather try that out.
But he thinks better of this option. What if he's got some weird alien parasite that no one has ever seen before? They might lock him away in some government lab or something. No, he reasons, it's better to wait it out. He'll sleep it off, swear off the sauce for a little while, and maybe it'll pass.
Motherfucker, you got extra skin, extra hair, extra long nails, like long fingernails, look like you haven't got it trimmed in weeks. It's best that you go to see a hospital. Ain't no way that's gonna end up getting healed.
In desperation, the derelict drags himself across the floor, hoping to at least find some solace away from human contact. He locks himself into his bedroom while he's still able to manipulate the lock on his door. The extra folds of skin are hanging off of his hands and arms, making it hard to do anything. The extra skin is so heavy that...
Bro, looking like a dying wizard. You look like a wizard that just got defeated from a battle and is on the verge of death.
That he can't walk much carrying all that extra weight. He lies on the floor of his bedroom, away from everything, and hopes that tomorrow, when he wakes up, this will just be a fading dream. The only thing that brings him solace is the never-ending bottle, which, even now in his advanced state of decay, he keeps close by him. After all, he reasons, the damage is already done. What could possibly be the harm in enjoying a nice drink? A week later, his condition has not passed. The landlord is back, and this time he's not taking no for an answer. The landlord isn't supposed to enter his tenant's apartment without permission, but he doesn't care. He uses his own key to unlock the door and go inside. The condition of the apartment is appalling. The furniture is broken, the floor is covered with unidentifiable filth, and there's a rotten stench in the air. The landlord wants to throw up as the full weight of the musty smell hits him in
a gift from heaven, or like a gift from hell.
The face. It's as if someone has been living in here without any ventilation, with all the windows firmly closed and sealed. A sudden noise from the bathroom draws his attention. Of course, thinks the landlord, that old bum is hiding in there. He thinks I won't find him. The landlord steals his resolve and heads towards the bathroom, determined to get the money that he feels is owed to him. But what greets him when he steps through the door isn't the derelict anymore. It isn't even human. The creature in the bathroom is a massive pile of ambulatory skin folds. The skin flaps have grown so large and cumbersome that the derelict within can barely move. They sprout all over his body, covering him so that he looks more like some kind of alien sea cucumber now than any human. The landlord stumbles backwards, screaming in terror at the sight, unable to comprehend what he's looking at. Improbably, the creature reacts to the noise, and a ripple of movement spreads across its...
You guys remember that one episode where Peter lost all his bones when he wished that he didn't have no bones? That guy's kind of remind me of that episode. Yeah, got a genie from and I'm not kidding, a beer bottle. And he granted him three wishes, and the last wish, he didn't have no bones, and yet still alive.
Surface. It starts to move, despite not having any legs. The landlord is so terrified that he doesn't notice the glass bottle that suddenly drops from between the creature's skin folds as it starts to move toward him. The same bottle, still with 3 fingers of liquid inside. How could something like this happen? What parasite or disease did the derelict contract from the miracle bottle he found? Sadly, this never-ending bottle isn't a boon, but a curse, and the man who found it that night became just another victim of what the SCP Foundation has classified as SCP-420. SCP-420 looks like a perfectly ordinary bottle of a certain popular libation, even to the point that it bears the label of a common brand. The bottle always contains a small amount of a mysterious liquid known as SCP-420-1. If this liquid is poured out, SCP-420 will always replenish itself. When SCP-420-1 is potent, it is physically, chemically, and molecularly indistinguishable from ordinary whiskey, although drinking will have an effect far greater than even the strongest liquor. When SCP-420-1 is poured out of SCP-420, though, it undergoes a strange transformation. eventually losing its potency and changing until it is indistinguishable physically, chemically, or molecularly from urine.
Gross.
Consuming potent SCP-420-1 instigates a bizarre physical transformation called SCP-420-2 in 6 stages. In Stage 1, beginning 12 hours after consumption, the subject will start to have difficulty speaking, resulting in slurred speech that is not consistent with normal alcohol inebriation. Their fingernails, toenails, and hair will start to grow at an accelerated rate, but also become brittle and prone to breakage. Nail breakage to the quick often leads to bleeding and infection. The Foundation has had some success in curing SCP-420-2 if it is caught when still in Stage 1, treating it as if it is an aggressive form of cancer with radiation and chemotherapy, as well as a constant intravenous supply of Formula 420A09T-T174B. Victims thus treated have a 73% recovery rate, but a 21% fatality rate. From Phase 2 onward, this protocol can slow the spread of SCP-420-2, but will not stop it entirely. In Stage 2, beginning 1 to 2 weeks after Stage 1, the subject's skin begins to show similar properties to those exhibited by hair and fingernails in Stage 1, becoming dry, brittle, and prone to cracking. As old skin flakes off, the subject's new skin begins to grow at an accelerated rate, eventually forming thick, leathery folds all over the subject's body. Skin flaps growing inside the mouth interfere with speech and eventually render subjects mute, but do not appear to impede breathing or eating.
That has to be uncomfortable, having all that skin, and also not being able to speak. It's like a fate worse than death.
Indeed, subjects in Stage 2 exhibit a renewed interest in eating, possibly because the subject's body requires additional nutrients and calories to build the increasingly heavy armor of thickened, calloused skin. Stage 2 subjects will eat anything that they can get their hands on, and many die after attempting to eat poisonous or inedible objects. In Stage 3, beginning 3 to 6 weeks after Stage 2, nerves in the skin layer grow uncontrollably, but no longer connect to the victim's central nervous system. Genetic testing of the skin in this stage reveals that its DNA has become so mutated that it can no longer be classified as human. It is, in fact, a separate and very inhuman organism that almost acts as a parasite growing from the human host. The skin may develop tumor-like growths, which appear to be analogous to human muscle and secretory cells. Hair and fingernails sprout randomly from the mass of skin. By Stage 4, beginning 3 to 7 days after Stage 3, the skin has become a mass of thick, leathery folds, completely covering the human host to the point that they disappear completely. The skin begins to exhibit random twitching movements, as though it is indeed a living organism finally coming into its own as a life form and testing out its new body. The human subject within the skin continues to eat, although brain scans reveal that they are no longer in control of their mouth. Instead, the skin entity forces the mouth to move by moving the attached skin. Small holes begin to form in the skin, eventually growing into narrow tunnels or throats that lead back to the now trapped body of the helpless subject. The subject is still consumed with a ravenous hunger and will eat anything that they can get in their mouth. In Stage 5, beginning 1 to 2 days after Stage 4, the skin begins to move in patterns indicating rudimentary intelligence.
Ooh, like a giant amoeba.
The skin, although still attached to the original subject, is now completely and distinctly non-human. It is its own organism. It can move of its own accord, dragging the trapped host along for the ride, and it moves and feeds much in the manner of an extremely large amoeba. It feeds by excreting a digestive enzyme onto foodstuffs and then enveloping the nutrients within skin folds, again like an amoeba surrounding its food. The food is taken into the throats. These tunnels connecting the outside of the skin to the now completely subsumed host are now directly connected to the host's circulatory system and function as additional mouths. They can consume nutrients which are moved down their length by bristly hairs and further broken down by grinding keratinous plates before being taken into the host's body. Most hosts will remain in Stage 5 indefinitely, although there still remains a much more dangerous Stage 6 yet to come. At this time, it's unknown what factor triggers SCP-420-2 to develop into Stage 6. Little information about Stage 6 is available at this time, although it is known that it involves even more accelerated skin and keratin growth, resulting in a sudden increase in size and mass. Perhaps the most terrifying part of the entire transformation is that the host remains alive for the duration of the process, and sometimes even after SCP-420-2 has settled comfortably into its new life at Stage 5. Mercifully, most hosts will have completely succumbed to insanity by this point, although some are shown by brain scans to still be self-aware and quite calm. perhaps fading into a zen-like state as they accept the inevitability of their fate. SCP-420.
If I ever drunk this bottle, and if I become that abomination, I'm straight up telling you, Foundation, this kill me. I am not gonna live like that.
Zero is contained in a storage locker at an undisclosed site maintained by the Foundation, and it is only to be removed from this locker by SCP staff with Level 3 clearance or higher. It has been given the safe class because, despite the horrifying nature of its effects, at least it doesn't move anywhere.
True.
Samples of SCP-420-1 not in use by testing should be stored in the container marked SCP-420-1 Decon in Locker 1014-420 until they lose potency, at which time they can be disposed of as biohazardous liquid waste. Victims infected with SCP-420-2 are not contagious and should be contained in standard solitary D-Class secure confinement. On reaching Phase 3, subjects should receive double rations. Due to the extreme danger of Phase 6, any subjects who reach Phase 4 should be closely monitored for signs that the condition may be advancing further, in which case they are to be immediately destroyed by incineration. Knowing the fate that befalls victims of SCP-420 should make anyone think twice about drinking out of a random bottle that you just found in the street, though personally, I think that's just common sense. I hope you enjoyed this anomaly, which was...
Now, the derelict didn't have no common sense now, did he?
was recommended by Dr. Bob Squad researcher Lawman23. If you want to assist in recommending and choosing future anomalies to be analyzed, you too can join the Dr. Bob Squad by going to patreon.com/drbob. Now go and watch another entry from the files of Dr. Bob, like SCP-747, Children and Dolls, for another tale of a different kind of uncomfortable transformation.
Hey, Shy Guy.
Make sure you subscribe and turn on notifications so you don't miss a single anomaly as we delve further and further into the SCP Foundation's classified archives.
Okay, guys, we've reached the end. Not gonna lie, I hope it does not result in a copyright strike. Because I saw other people react to his videos. I'm shouting out the creator, I'm putting their links to the description and their channels. And yeah, I said I was gonna do it. I wanted the videos with the rubber. I said I was gonna react to Dr. Bob. And I ended up doing it. But yeah, if that doesn't stop you from drinking, then I don't know what will. Who knows? Maybe it might. Who knows what's next you might find on the ground. Something that you won't be able to know or predict what would happen if you drunk out of that bottle. You could end up our little friend, the derelict, catch a rare and more deadlier disease than any other disease that has ever been on a bottle. Who knows? It could also have been cursed. This will be a fate worse than death. You know what? You want to risk it? Go ahead. Be my guest. Just do know that I've warned you the risk. Either don't drink and live, or if you drink, you'll die. Which would you choose? But anyway, guys, I hope you enjoyed. If you did, make sure you scare the like button, tap that notification bell, make sure you share my videos, subscribe for more of my horror content, and make sure you comment on what you think of the video. If you want more of Dr. Bob, I will be happy to do that. All you have to do is subscribe. Keep subscribing. I want this channel to grow, guys. You want more horror? I'll give you horror. Am I improving? Am I actually getting scarier? Nah. Who knows what I might do in the future? I might go off the deep end. The deep end of horror. And I hope YouTube don't have no soft stomachs when it comes to horror. Of course they don't. You've already saw a lot of horror games that can give children nightmares. On my channel, I'm not family friendly. Horror is not for kids. If you want to get nightmares to get traumatized, that's your choice. But anyway, guys, peace.